Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good night, wherever you are in the world. It's another edition of Perth by Night, where we find ourselves in the now more established um, office of the Prince, where Grace Martin has asked for an audience with Prince. She gets led through hallways. She finds herself being patted down by a female ghoul, and she has to relinquish all weaponry and armor and whatnot. After that, they will walk through another room where is a waiting area. The moment she arrives within the waiting area, Lavoisier opens the door of his office and says, "Welcome, Mr. Martin. I was expecting you."
Ah, bonsoir, Monsieur Lavoisier. Thank you for meeting me on such short notice. Grace
Well,
walks
of course, you are my keeper of Elysium. Please, please entrez.
Grace walks into the office, and do you still want to give a description of the office, or shall I
The
just?
office is very plain, although you can see that the chair and desk are probably of French origin. Um, it doesn't have the many golden statues or big bookcases full of books. It has an what seems to be a reasonable new laptop and pencils and papers to draw letters up, and two comfortable chairs of equal height. Lavoisier takes place at the far end of the desk, and you can sit at he sits behind the desk, and you can sit in front of him with the desk between you guys.
Mm, Grace will keep standing, and she will wait until Mr. Lavoisier actually allows her to sit down.
As Lavoisier sits down, he uses his hand to glide towards the seat to give a signal that she's allowed and very welcome to sit down.
Thank you. And she sits down, and she places the bag that she has next to that she has brought with her. She places it next to the chair, rummages in it, and takes out a big folder with all kind of paperwork in it. She lays it on her lap and folds her hands on top of it. Well,
Well, if you would like to proceed with your business.
thank you, and thank you once again for allowing this meeting. I have actually a few questions. Um, one as keeper, one as mistress of harpies, and one as primogen of the Toreador.
I'm intrigued. Please proceed.
Do you have a specific order in which you would like me to ask these questions?
No, not particular. They need to be answered, all of them. So it's at your own bidding. If you please.
Okay, very well. Well, I don't think if I mentioned it during the Elysium, but let's start with the question of the Keeper of Elysium first. You know that I am on the lookout for a good location to set up a permanent Elysium. And I was wondering if you have any preferences.
Well, it depends on what kind of platforms you need. My foremost importance of the location is security. I would rather have 4 exit plans of security for myself and the kindred we are with when we get attacked by something, then only 2. So multiple security preventations will be very welcome. Um, I understand that we live in a multicultural city where we have bloodlines who thrive within boxing halls as well as in glorious theaters. I will meet them in all of them. It all belongs to Perth.
Of course. So you want various locations of various standing,
We,
and most important is that it has multiple security exits, I
we,
guess.
as well as security prevention,
Of course.
metal scanners, pressure plates if necessary, if it can be done,
Mm-hmm.
um, normal compartmentization.
Mm-hmm.
The usual works. I want it to be in tip-top shape,
Of course.
but I
I
do not
will.
mind if it's. I'm sorry, you'll say.
No, please go ahead.
I do not mind if it's a little. How do you say? A little rough around the edges. After all, we have to meet with every clan, and we are multi-diverse.
I do agree with that. I will make sure that once I found suitable locations, I will also let the sheriff take a look at it.
C'est bon?
He can help with the security issue. Also, how many Elysiums did you want to right now? Am I correct?
Well, it depends. I leave it to you. I two is okay if you find a very good location which meets all the demands I've been giving. I give to you as well as your own standards. You can implement them, of course. Then I would go as far as 3.
Okay, very well.
However, I would not. I would like for you to very secretly create a 4th Elysium we will not use until there is an emergency, until there is something that we only invite Primogen to, something extremely secret.
Understood. And she's been taking notes. She doesn't write that down. Okay, well, I think that answers that question. Thank you very much. Well, as for the status of the harpies at this point, I have just appointed one harpy from Clan Malkavian by the name of Asher Roth.
Ah, I've met the gentleman. He seems very capable in the media, correct?
Oh, that is correct.
Yes, yes. Well, I love to see how it goes.
Yes, I have not heard from the Bruja yet, and I would like to ask for permission to also look in other clans for harpies.
Do you have something or someone particular in mind?
No, not at this point. Um, it's more that you gave the order that it would have to be a Malkavian or a Bruja. Basically, they were in favor for this position. The Malkavians responded by sending someone who was interested. The
Oui,
Bruja didn't give any response as of yet, and to pressure them and to show them that laziness isn't something that we need in the Camarilla right now,
oui.
I would like your permission to also ask Clan Nosferatu. Let's see, is there any other clan that is big enough at this point?
La Roger ponders for a little bit when you say Clown Rato and says, yes, yes, I would like to have a harpy from Clan Azarato as well. They do not have many responsibilities as of now because the absentee primogen. I would like them to be able to shine a little bit.
Okay. And I will also ask Clan Nosferatu, but do you want me to set the number for harpies to 3 then, or remain it at 2 and see which one of the clans, Bruja and Nosferatu, brings up a candidate?
Well, let's put it this way: set it to 3 and expect Bruja. If the Bruja within say 1 week, 7 days, do not react to this, you can look for a third from another clan.
Very well.
I think 2 to 3 would suffice. After all, you are not a harpy.
No, I wanted to ask of you about this. What do you expect of the harpies and of me?
Well, you are in a very responsible position. I understand. The problem or the point I have with these is the following. You are at this moment the keeper of many titles because you are the Toreador, and the Toreador has have earned this through their exploits in defending and recovering the city as it is right now. With eyes of your losses, with eyes on how you did so far, I think you deserve many titles. However, if you in any way have the feeling that some titles are unclear or coming in contact with each other in a negative way, I would like you to think about maybe either taking a position as a master of harpies or keeper of Elysium, but only if you feel like they are connecting in a wrong way.
Well, at this point, I think I can easily manage things. Maybe if the city grows, it would take too much time for one person to deal with it, but at this point, that's not a problem. But I was more interested in what do you want? Uh, Usually, the Master of Harpies is also a harpy. However, you specifically told me, I remember, that I am not.
We,
So, what do you expect of me? Simply to lead the harpies?
I want I want you to lead the harpies. I think normally the master of harpies is a harpy. This time it is unnecessary because you are also the keeper of Elysium. And normally the master of the harpies either connects to the prince or to the keeper of Elysium. Because you are combined, it automatically goes there. It mostly has to do with keeping of status. And the keeper of Elysium in Perth must always be aware of the status of everyone.
Hmm.
When he or she, for instance, invites people in the room, I would not like them to be scorned in a way that they feel misjudged by the keeper of Elysium. Because your roles are combined, you must always know perfectly. I
Well,
expect you to know perfectly.
I
Perfectly
understand
within
that.
reason, of course.
Of course, we are. I've made a small start on a case file for each and every kindred within Perth.
Did you receive the message from your small one, Mr. McGowan? I uplifted his status. I think he deserved it for fighting with the attackers.
Yes, I've heard about it, and it pleases me very much. I knew he was a capable kindred, and it's good to see that recognized.
I heard that he was very good at scouting,
Mhm.
something we might need soon, especially if time comes and you can spare this kindred, I think it would be wise to have him help with security when it comes to aspects.
Hmm. A very fine idea. We'll keep it in mind. Um, well, regarding that, I have another question, but I will keep that shelved for now. So, as to continue on the harpies, well, I have right now the Malkavian harpy. I think he will do a fine job. Also, I've taken the liberty to set up a meeting place for the harpies.
We,
It will be known to me and the other harpies, of course, for security reasons. However, if you need to know, then of course I will tell you.
well, the point is this. Um, I would like you to inform the sheriff and myself
Hmm.
to do this by paper and make it and do it by paper so it can be filed.
Mm, as you wish.
You have problems with this? Please elaborate. Very welcome to hear your thoughts on this.
I don't mind letting you or the sheriff know the location. It's more that I prefer not to have it on paper. Anything that is on paper, anything that is written, has the chance of, well, being discovered by unwanted eyes.
I understand.
And since this location will hold lots of information about the kindred within the city and their status, their qualities, and their hmm, maybe even their flaws, basically anything we can find.
Have you
I
found out anything already, by the way?
I have a case file on event through Primogen at this point. I have set my Harpy to prove himself. I've set him on this task.
I like the way you do things. Very good. I would like to see this file when you have it complete and ready.
Well, she's actually rummaging through her purse, which is not the same bag as where she kept the papers in, and she draws out a key card and hands it over to him. I would prefer the files not to leave that room, but of course, this is the key to that room.
You do not have the document right here. You want me to go to the location where you keep all your files.
Well, like I said, I would prefer not to. It's once again, it's a written document and or printed actually, but if I go travel around with it and I get attacked by an anarch or by anarchs, because I'm pretty sure I can handle one.
So do I.
And if they take those documents of me, they will hold valuable information of our kindred, and I will have to answer for that.
Let me
I,
put it this way, Miss Martin, if I may. I have never heard it done before in a Camarilla city this way. However, as I understand that you think these things through very well, I will accept this way of thinking and do not mind the walk.
very well, thank you very much. Of course, if you would have insisted, I would have brought it over, of course.
I understand, but you are very busy and I respect this.
It has nothing to do with me being busy. It purely has to do with security. Well, as you can see, this is a key card for one of the suites within the Crown of Perth.
We
I thought it would be the safest place to have it close to me, and so I can defend it if necessary.
Now you bring it up. I totally forgot to do something, which is very stupid of me. But you had some last thing. I want to do this when I finish. You had one last question for me, no?
Well, you reminded me of another one, but yes, I came in here with three questions. The last one that I had was as the Primogen of the Toreador. As I understand, you, in your wisdom, you thought it would be best for the Toreador clan not to grow.
We
I can understand that very well. However, this gives me a small problem because I, before we actually, before I became Primogen, I requested for my grandchild to come to the city and help. He is on his way and he will arrive within few hours.
a few hours.
He will arrive in the
Okay.
harbor. The the travels costed him several weeks. That's why I had it already arranged. I thought it wouldn't be a problem, but I would
Martin,
really,
how many
yes.
members do you have so far?
Mm, at this point, we have, of course, Mr. Eric Salvador.
We,
There is Mr. McGowan. There is myself. And although I haven't heard from her in, well, ever since the war stopped, I haven't heard from her anymore. So I'm kind of afraid that something happened to her. Miss Pinky.
all right, yes, the mechanic. Yeah, that's correct. I forgot about that. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, well, the point is, the problem you give me is when I give you a number extra, others will come and have the same question. In this way, my calculated number mathematically gets broken.
I understand.
So unless you give me a very, very good reason why,
Well, I think if we want the city to grow, shouldn't we attract more kindreds?
we, but then again, you already have the potential to grow within the group you're having right now. I see no reason why this would change.
No, that is true. However, if you set the numbers so low, forgive me for speaking my mind freely. I really hope you don't mind. Then it might discourage young kindreds to come over because they will be afraid that they will be sent back.
Well, that's very understandable. Then again, I want Perth to be one of the best cities in Australia. I can only do this with the best kindred available. When I keep the numbers low and people know that it's going to be hard to be accepted, they think twice before traveling all the way here to be judged by you and by me. Make sure that they are capable of doing what they do. And the tasks we have at hand is to defend the city. However, I am not an unreasonable man, and I understand that your own personal blood is involved.
That
I
is
understand.
correct.
I understand family.
Mhm.
Although the family within the pyramid is quite different, I used to be a father. I used to be a married man long, long time ago.
Mm.
I have a solution for this, but then you must accept my solution. I believe when I took this seat, we made an agreement with each other.
That is correct.
If you want this very great exception, then I will consider this a boon, a major boon, like you have for me.
I
Do
see.
you agree?
Mm, I can understand that a major boon would be necessary. Do you want to cancel out the boons, or would you like a major boon? Would you like me to owe you one, as well as Clan Tremere owing me one?
No, I think it would be smart to cancel them out. We will have more reasons in the future, Miss Martin, to owe each other boons. When the city grows, our economy will rise, and I'm sure that your qualities will someday be rewarded or be rewarded by myself. I do not forget. I have seen you work. I'm very happy with your work so far.
Thank you very much.
Because of this, I have decided to grant you something that is of mine to give and only mine to give. Within Perth, you now owe the casino, correct? Within the crown of
Yes, that
Perth.
is correct. Yes,
Because
that
you
is
are
correct.
because you are my keeper of Elysium and the primogen of one of the strongest and biggest clans within the city, I think the entirety of Crown of Perth and a suitable place of land around it would suffice my keeper more than just a simple hotel room. Don't you agree?
That is a grand gift, my
It's not
prince.
it's not given lightly. You have earned it. Your clan has been here for me, and I did not forget all your work and this conversation we're having right now. I
I
may be seen as a tyrant, but I try to be a justiceful tyrant, which means
well,
you have earned and you shall receive.
well, thank you very much. Of course, Clan Toreador will continue to serve the prince and the Camarilla.
I know.
Um, Maybe in that, from that point of view, would it be interesting to you if I would make a counter offer on the boons?
I'm interested.
I will owe you a minor boon instead of you owing me a minor boon. I think two minor boons, one nullified and one granted to you, might even be better than cancelling out the major one.
Mm, I have to think on this for a while. I'm going to go on it because it sounds reasonable. On the other hand, it's a deal, and I know what's worth more. However, does my character do? I will use my intelligence and finance. I think that suffice
Finance, shouldn't it be
on
politics?
on a difficulty of 8.
Hmm.
I understand that canceling out might seem a little bit big, but with the extra grounds you've been provided within the Crown of Perth, I see no reason not to cancel out.
Very well. Then we will cancel the major boon and leave the minor boon, as it were.
Très bon.
Um, my prince, there was a fourth question that popped up in my head, although I'm not quite sure if it's within my place to ask.
Please ask anyway.
Mr. Roth has told me about the evening with the Autarchus, and he told me that this character actually wasn't of Clan Gangrel, but was easily mistaken to be Clan Gangrel.
Mm-hmm.
I am intrigued. Is there any information that you could give me on this?
Yes, there
My
is.
harpy was, at the end of the evening, unable to register everything very well anymore. So I was hoping that you could give me some information.
I could, but I would like to know why you want the information.
Two reasons. First of all, I think it's important that this should also be documented within the Harpies ledger. Second, my curiosity.
You want the bloodline of the autarchs within the.
No, no. I want the record of the battle
Ah, well,
within.
you want the detailed information.
Yes, if we're gonna make this city an example, I think we would need historical, we need records. We need to make sure that everything that we do is well documented, and I'm planning to do that.
Then reported as supposed gangrel and member of the Sabbat. That's the information I think is sufficing for the information. I might give more, but then I will do it publicly.
Mhm. I think at this point she will actually roll manipulation, empathy, or expression. I don't know which one, but just to hide her surprise. I think that will go with empathy.
Actually, it's a expression. No, if you want to hide it, it's manipulation.
Mm-hmm.
Manipulation subterfuge.
Oh, right, of course, subterfuge. Yes. I'm sorry. Let's see. That is. Well, I got two successes. If
I
you
will see
want,
if
you
I
could
can. I can see if I can pick it up. I'll take
perception, empathy,
perception and um,
empathy.
yeah. I'm not picking up anything.
Well, clearly the mask is allowing Grace not to show her emotions. She nods and she scribbles down a few things. It's almost unreadable handwriting, by the way. It's not doctor's handwriting, but it's close to that.
Can I read what? Can I
Sure.
see what kind of language? Are you writing in French or another language?
German.
Oh, then
German.
I don't know. I think Lavage has once seen German, but I can't. I don't speak the language.
Well, thank you very much. I would at one point be very interested in the entire story, but I can understand that you prefer to keep that to yourself for now.
Well, the point is, Miss Martin, I don't want to be rude. The point is, um, we are still investigating. We we assume what we assume, and our investigation has led us into information that we did not know before.
Hmm. In that case,
And I can also tell you very much that we made the very right decision to do so,
of course we did.
to attack the attackers. We could have caused more problems than we thought.
Hmm. Well, then it's a good thing that he's gone. But if you are still investigating, wouldn't it be a good thing to let the harpies know about it? Maybe not me, but I mean, I could of course
No, no,
send them to you.
I am investigating the clan, not the person.
I see. Okay. Um, well, those were my questions. My curiosity has been mildly satisfied. You told me that you had something you wanted to say.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and I'm sure you did not forget me granting you the crown of Perth. That was what I was going to say. What I have said.
Oh, okay. Thank you very much. Once again, I think it's the most beautiful gift that I've ever received.
I
Um,
am sure with your profession, Miss Martin, you have received much more and bigger things, such as an applause for a job well done.
to be quite honest, my profession is not that of someone who stands within the limelight.
You are not an
Well,
optician?
I have been a long time ago,
A
but
long
that
time
was
ago,
still in my mortal life.
you do not perform anymore?
Occasionally. It's not my, it's more of a hobby at this point.
How interesting. I thought your plan could drown completely in the beauty of things.
Mm, that is correct.
But you seem very much in
But that
control of
is
your.
not my profession. Not always, I can assure you that. Aren't we all
Well, I'm sure.
sometimes out of control?
If you if you would allow me, I would love to see
Please.
some of the art the Toreador in the city has. I suggest that we have, after a while, after everyone has represented themselves, a nice feast, a nice celebration of of our surviving group and our newcomers within the city, hosted by yours truly, where Tremer and Toreador, Brujan, Nosferatu, Gangrel, if they wish, as well as the Mercavians, we can all join together and enjoy the beautiful things that Toreador makes.
Very well. She scribbles again, a few notes. We will do so as soon as you command it. Of course, I had some plans already, but I will wait
Don't
until
see
you
it as a
find
command.
it
See it as
right.
a trust I have in your abilities.
Thank you very much once again, my dear prince. Mm, one quick question before I have to find myself the way towards the
Lavoisier
harbor.
smiles when you say just one more question and says, yes, please.
Uh, it's something that I forgot to ask, actually. I should be fully ashamed of myself. But my harpy asked what I expected of him at this point, and I answered that I wasn't very sure what his task would be because I wanted to make sure that I did the right thing and that the prince would also have a say in what his harpies will do. So, is there any
Ah,
task you would
yes.
like to set the harpy on? Harpies as soon as I have
Yes.
more.
Yeah, well, I haven't seen the report he has made on the Ventral. However, I would like a report on the current primogen of the Bruja, the current. I would like a report on every current primogen, except on Rafat. I already know everything I need to know about him.
Very
No,
well.
no. Make
I will
one
set
about
him to that
Rafat as
task.
well. Don't. I don't want to discriminate. Make one of Rafat as well,
Very well.
and then
I
work your
will,
way down.
of course, as I said, the case files that I wanted to make will involve each and every kindred, and I was, of course, planning to work from top to bottom, not the other way around. I will make sure that he will be set on this task, and as soon as I have more harpies, I will appoint them their tasks as well.
Très bon. Thank you very much.
Well, my prince, if you would be kind enough to excuse me.
You are excused. Thank you for all your hard work.
Grace um, puts the folder back into the bag that she has with her. She lifts the bag, throws it over her shoulder, stands up, bows, and leaves the room. And unless a prince wants something still,
No, that will be the end of the scene.
then we will end scene.